Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Saad Sangat Ji, welcome back to the next Charitr, the next episode in the Demystifying Charitropakhyan series. This is the 16th Charitr, and today is a very interesting Charitr. It's a little long one, but hopefully you can get through it quickly. But it's another one of my favorites. uh, it seems that every single Charitr that comes up, I just find so much beauty in it, and it's maybe its creativity, or in its concepts that are shown forward. Um, and This one in particular, it's interesting because it's narrated not by so the older Charitras, the whole Charitropakhyan seems to be like a narration, right? Narration type of uh, literature. But before we heard that there was mantris, and the mantris are talking to the king, and the mantris are giving the king these stories, right? So it's narrated by the mantris, right? This Charitra itself seems to be narrated by the person with who has gone through this story. Yeah, so it's not the mantris anymore that are narrating this particular story. Instead, it's one of the characters in the story itself. Yeah, so it will be clear at the end. At the very end, it will be very clear that who's narrating the story. But it's a nice one, and I've tried to make the whole Twitter into a PowerPoint, so it's easier for you to follow along and easier for me to also kind of portray the message of the Twitter. Okay, so this is 16 Charitar, the 15th tale, and we are told in the introduction about the location and the main character. And it says here, Tir Satadrav ke hote rehat rai sukh pai. Now, by the Sutlej River, so Sutlej River is one of the rivers of Punjab. Yeah. So before Punjab had become divided to Landa and Charda Punjab, which means the western and eastern Punjab, Punjab used to have five rivers. Yeah. And you can see it here in the presentation. Jhelum, Chenab, these are now in Pakistan, Punjab. Landa Punjab, which falls in Pakistan. And then Ravi, Satluj, and Beas, these three rivers fall into eastern Punjab. And that's in India now, huh? Modern day India. So Satluj River, as you see here, this last river which comes down from the mountains, um, it touches by Punjab, yeah, and even touches by Anandpur Sahib as well, right? So like at the very end of Charitropakhyan, when Guru Sahib says where they're finishing this granth called Sri Charitropakhyan, they say Tir Satadrav Granth Sudara. I have completed this granth by the banks of the river of the Satluj River. Yeah. So when we reach Jopei Sahib, at the very end of Jopei Sahib, it's Sri Charitropakhyan Netra. Go over there, Guru Sahib gives a naksha, a map of where they're writing it, when they're writing it, even to the specifics of dates as well. Yeah, so which is great for historians, and hopefully at the end of the series, when we explore Jopei Sahib, the concepts provided by Jopei Sahib in relative to the Charitras that we heard, right? Because Jopei Sahib comes at the very end of all the Charitras, right? Um, we'll explore the day, the month, the year, the season that Guru Sahib completes this Granth. Yeah. Okay, so we're introduced to the place, we're introduced to the main character, which is a Raja. His name is not given. And then they say, Darab het te hi. Yeah, for money. Ram Jani ik aaye. Ram Jani means a Vesava or a prostitute. A prostitute had come to the city that was governed by this Raja, by this Rai, by this king. Yeah, he was in he was in the most sukh before she came. Yeah, but and this Ramjani is another name for prostitute. This prostitute came for what? Darab het. Darab means money. For the love of money, she's come to his kingdom to earn money in the wrong way. Okay, so then we're told the name of this prostitute, right? What's her name? Her name is Chijya. Chijya. Chijya jako naam sakal jag jani. Her name is Chijya. Yeah, and I found the translation for Chijya to be Chajana, which means Shobha. Yeah, Shobha Sahat. Shobha meaning praise. Yeah, someone who is filled with praise. Yeah, and so she doesn't really live up to her name basically. Okay? And Ladiya Waki Naam Hitu Pehchanayi. Ladiya Waki Naam. Her this part is translated in the different TK to be that she had a servant with her whose name was Laddi. But personally, that didn't make sense to me because Ladiya Waki Naam Hitu Pehchani. I think it means that those people that knew her or had a relationship with her, they knew her by the name of Ladiya. Yeah, so they had a code name for her, Laddi, right? Which means prapati, which means to obtain something. Okay. Then we're giving a description about who she is, what kind of person. No, we're not giving a description of what kind of person she is, but we're giving a description of her physical characteristics. We're told, "Jo ko purkh belokat tin ko ai kya ho man bach karm rahat hirda sukh pai kya." Whoever, whichever male were to see her, they would lose all of their senses, right? Because she was that beautiful. Okay, now when she comes into this kingdom of this Raja, she's faced with a problem. What is that problem? Nikarai so baspai. She sees the king and she falls for the king. Yeah, this prostitute falls for the king. Dehe bas hot na soe. But she tries to entice him by her physical characteristics. She tries to entice him with her form, but he doesn't even look at her. Yeah, because this Raja will find out towards the end or as the story progresses, he's very Dharmi. Yeah, so this whole story, it seems to me as it is a story of Dharam versus Adharam. Yeah, you will see this as it progresses. Then चित्त में चिंता करी so ਉਹਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਆ ਗਈ the prostitute start to worry ਕਿਹ ਬਿਦ ਮਿਲ ਪੋ ਹੋਏ how can I get this raja into my hands ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਰਾਜਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਰਾਂ how can I control this the raja to fall for me when he's not even looking my way yeah ਇਹ ਮੋਹ ਪਰ ਰੀਝਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੁਸ਼ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ he's not even happy with me he doesn't get like everyone else they ਉਹ ਬੇਵਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ they right away they fall for me but he doesn't even look my way ਕਿਆ ਹੈ ਕਸ ਕਰੋ ਉਪਾਏ what should I do मेरो सदना आवे मोहे नह लेत बुलाए he doesn't come to my house and he doesn't call me to his house so what can I do to capture his attention yeah and attention is shown to be a very big element uh, of kamana, yeah, of desires, yeah. So she has a desire. How can she? What's her biggest desire? Her desire is attention. Yeah, she wants the attention of this king. Okay, so jantar mantar chetak charitar kiye so bas ho have jai. So she thinks that I can try three different things. Okay, I'll try doing jantar or mantar or sorry, I'll try doing three things, which is jantar mantar, which is one, chetak, which is two, Charitr, which is three. Yeah, jantar mantar meaning like some type of spells, chetak meaning some type of magic. Yeah, and Charitr meaning some type of play. Yeah, some type of deception. Kiye sobas have jai. So I'm going to try these three different things. She tries them, right? She tries her jantar mantra, she tries her chetak, she tries pulling off magic spells on the Raja, but nothing works. Yeah, वो हार जतन मतर रही हार कर वो हार गई है ना she रहे राय मिलियो नह जा नह आए and she was not able to get the king to fall under her spells. Yeah. So then she starts thinking, my last thing I can do is now play a charitar, right? Play a deception. एक चरित्र तब तिन कियो बस करबे के पाए. Then she makes a plan. Yeah. She makes a play. And what is that play? Bastar sava pagve kare tarat jogiya ko pace. She takes the form of a jogi. Yeah? She starts to wear pagve kapre. Pagve kapre are like orange type of cloth. Yeah, so you'll see the Nirmale sadhu they wear pagve kapre. So the Nirmale tradition. within the Sikh Panth, they wear that type of clothes, and yogis wear that type of clothes as well. So it's like this orange, faint orange type of kapde. So she wears that, yeah. And then Sabha Madhya Teheraye ko kino on Ades. And then she comes into the Sabha. She comes into the Raja's Sabha, right? The Raja's Darbar. And she does Ades. She does a namaskar. She bows down to the Raja. Right? The Raja, being Dharmi, he falls for it, right? Because a Dharmi person falls for Dharam, right? So she put the outfit of Dharam on, yeah? And Tehe Jugiya Lakhrai Rij Chitame Raheo. So this Raja, sorry, who was not happy with her before, who was not impressed by her before, now he gets really impressed, yeah? He doesn't know it's the same lady. He doesn't know it's the same prostitute, yeah. But now he's seeing that this is a jokey. He gets very happy. Jante kuch sangraho mantra man mein chaho, and he starts thinking that I want to get some advice. I want to get some upadesh. I want to get some teachings from this yogi, which was often the case when you met a sadhu, you met a holy person. The objective of a dharmi person would be a righteous spiritual being would be to go up to that sadhu, to that bhagat, to that God's person, you can say, and get some type of mantra meaning some kind of upadesh, some kind of sikhyama, some kind of teachings, yeah. Teh greh diyo patha ek doot bulai kya ho kala sikhn ke het mantra samjhai kya. So he sends a messenger to the house of the prostitute, not knowing it's a prostitute, thinking it's a yogi. Yeah, sends a messenger to the house of the yogi, saying that, hey, let the yogi know that I want to meet them and learn from them. Yeah, I want to learn Sikhyama from them. Yeah. Chal sevak jugya pe ava rai ko hos so tahe jatawa. The messenger comes, and the messenger speaks to the yogi, so-called yogi, by saying that, hey, I've come from the Raja's Darbar, I've come from the king's court, and he wants to learn from you. Kashu mantar mur isahe dija. Kripa jan karj prabh kija. So, hey Prabhu, so it was a way of giving satkar to sadhus, to enlightened beings, by saying Prabhu. Hey Prabhu, meaning master. Hey master, why don't you give my king what he's looking for? Okay, now she knows her Charitra has worked, right? So she plays the act, right? She plays the act. What does she do? Pehar ek lo chor drig kahi jogiye baat. So what does she do? When she sees the messenger come and the messenger is talking, she has her eyes closed. Yeah, drig means eyes. She keeps her eyes closed for about 3 hours, right? So that messenger, poor messenger, is just sitting there waiting for her to open her eyes. When she opens her eyes, she pretends like she was in samadhi, right? She pretends like she was in the state of like meditation. And she says to the messenger, all right, your king wants to learn from me, to tell your king to come to me at midnight. Yeah, come to me at midnight. अर्धरात्र बीता जब आवे हमारे पास जो अद्धी रात बीतीगी और वो मेरे पास आए तोड़ा राजा है ना. And then she says, Sri Gorakh ki maya te jai hai nahi niras. And with the maya, with the kirpa of Sri Gorakh, right? Gorakh was the guru of the yogis, yeah. So she says, with the kirpa of Gorakhnath, yeah, I will make sure that he does not go home without what he wants, right? I'll make sure I send him home with the teachings he's looking for, right? He won't go niras, right? Or niras ho ke nahi jayega. He won't go unhappy. Okay, so the Raja is then told by the Sevak, okay, look, she says that you have to go at midnight, so you go to sleep, I'll wake you up at midnight. So the messenger wakes the king up at midnight, and the king goes to the house of the so-called yogi, and when he comes, Her Rai Triya At Sukhapayo. When he comes, he gets so happy. He's so happy to see this yogi because that's what he was looking for, right? A Dharmi person gets happy seeing Gurmukhs, right? Even if it's someone wearing the outfit of a Gurmukh, yeah? A Dharmi person will always be happy to see the Gurmukh, even if they're wearing just the outfit, yeah? This is the Sharda, this is the innocence of a Dharmi person, right? And now this prostitute is trying to take the benefit of that. But look what will happen. Raja so ayes kahi dija log uthaye. She tells the Raja, you've come. Now, if you really wish to learn from me, I want you to do something. all these people that came with you, because the Raja never travels alone, right? The king never travels alone. All these people that came with you, send them home. I want you all alone, right? And second, bring me these things. Bring Toop, Deep, Achat Pohop, right? Which means fragrances, incense, and candles. Make sure you bring all these things. So she's trying to set the scene of romance, yeah? She's trying to set the, because she's going to eventually expose herself to be the prostitute, right? So she wants to set the scene right. She wants to set a romantic scene. So when she does expose herself, the king will have every element in his favor to commit that pop, to commit that sin, right? Because the she's sending all his people away, right? First, so he's gonna be all alone. Third is the middle of the night, no one will know, right? Third, she sets the environment to encourage the vices, to encourage calm. Okay, so the Raja, he tab Raja apne saban logan diya utha. He falls for this, right? He falls for this. He sends everyone home or everyone go home. Just bring me these things, and then what happens is that oh aap akalla reh janda. Sorry. So ਉਹ ਆਪ ਕੱਲ ਆਪ ਇਕੱਲੋ ਹੀ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਮੰਤਰ ਹੇਤ ਸੁਖ ਪਾਏ ਉਹ ਆਪ ਇਕੱਲਾ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ he's all alone now. Why? Mantar hate sukh pai. He's just here to learn vidya, right, from this being who he thinks is a spiritual being. That's all he wants. That's his happiness. That's his sukh. Yeah, and he's not interested in anything else. Now Rai Baj, yeah. I think I missed something. Okay, okay. So then the so-called yogi, she reveals herself, right? She says, look, what I want you to do is that you want to learn from me. Then what I want you to do is that, well, she doesn't fully reveal herself. First, she says, so if you want to learn from me, I want you to see this. I'm going to turn myself into a female because she is a female. She's disguised herself as a male, right? I'm going to turn myself into a female, and I want you to make love with me, and then after you make love with me, I'll give you the teachings that you want. Okay? And the Raja, he's confused, and he responds by saying, well, पुरख मंत्र दायक पिता मंत्र दाए त्रिया मात तिनकी सेवा कीजिए भोग न कीनी जात. He says that if I were to, learn from you, right, then you're my guru, and I, it is you're the guru. If you are a male, then for me you're pita saman. You're the same as like my father. And if you are a woman, then you are a mata saman, right? Then you're like my mom, right? And for me, what I should do is do your seva. If you are a woman, if you really are a woman, then I should be doing your seva. Pogna ki nijat. I shouldn't be making love with you. That's against Dharam, he says, right? Boho barsan lag jaan sev gur kijiye. This is Rai Bach means the bachans of the Raja, yeah, or the words of the king. This is what the king said. He said, Boho barsan lag jaan, save gur kijiye. If I were to learn from you, then my vidya tells me, my sanskars tell me, my education tells me that I should do your seva for as long as possible. Jatan kot kar bohor sumantra hai lijiye. After doing your seva, then if I were to receive some vidya, that's worth it for me. That's something that is subtle to me. Yeah? जाहे अर्थ के हेत शीस नुहारिया हो कहो चतुरता सो क्यों खेल मचाई क्या. So he says that, and then I should give you all the money I have, yeah, and bow down to you. This is my job. This is my taram as a vidyarthi. Right? I should do your seva. I should bow down to you, give you all the money I have, and then if you were to teach me in your happiness, that is my mission has become successful, right? So why should I make love with you? That does not make sense to me. Now Charitra is backfired, right? She's going to expose herself. Then she said, "Tab jogi he paant sunayo." In this way, she spoke. Tav petan hit pekh banayo. She says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Look! I'm actually not a yogi. Let me retrace my steps." She says, "Yeah." She says, "I'm actually not a yogi. I'm just put this pekh on. I put this outfit on just for you. Tav petan for you to see you. ਹਿਤ means ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਭੇਖ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ, ਅਬ ਮੇਰੇ ਸੰਗ ਭੋਗ ਕਮਾਈ ਹੈ, now do love with me, right? On ਪਿਆ ਸੁਭ ਸੇਜ ਸੁਹਾਈਏ. She says, come, my husband. She calls her husband. She tries to speak in love, right? Because she's a Manmukh will do whatever they can to achieve their desires. She says, come to my bed and be my husband. Now, what we're going to see here is the Bairaag of a Manmukh. Yeah? The Bairaag of a Manmukh. Look, a Gurmukh has Bairaag and a Manmukh has Bairaag. Bairaag means detachment, right? Or a sense of sadness, bishoda, a sense of separation, right, from what they want to achieve, right? A Gurmukh has Bairaag, a Manmukh has Bairaag. But there's a difference in the Bairaag. The difference is Vichar. Yeah, the difference is Vichar. Look, someone can be so sad, so fed up with life, right? But if they don't have the right vichar means thought process. If they don't have the right thought process, they'll go suicide. They'll get themselves killed. They'll go underneath the train, right? They'll do the wrong action. But if someone has vichar, they'll take that power of Bairag and put it towards bhakti, put it towards devotion. Okay, she has that Bairag, but she's a Manmukh. Yeah, she's just following her desires. Yeah, so she says, "Tan tarfat tav milan ko." My body is tarfta pya. Tarf means it's byakal hui pe hui main. Tarf meaning I am. My body is in pain. Is in pain to meet you. मैं तरफती पई हाँ, मैं व्याकुल होई हुई हाँ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ. Birha bikal peo ang, each of my body parts are hit with separation. Yeah. So look, the same way a Gurmukh will speak to Vaheguru Ji, that I am separated from you. Every body and part of mine is separated from you. I want you to meet me. Yeah. She's saying the same language, but she's saying it out of calm, out of lust. Yeah. Se suhai an piya aaj ramo moh sang, come make love with me today, become my husband. Yeah. And now she realizes when looking at his expressions, it's not working. She starts then incorporating religion. She starts incorporating spirituality into her lives, right? Because she realizes that this person is a Dharmi person, like before, right? So she says, "Kam matar hova jo torun." Hey, don't you know that if a female is under the desire of lust, avat piye ke paas, and she comes to her husband, and the husband does not give her love, then maha narak so dariyat, he goes to hell. So she's lying to him by saying that you will go to hell if you don't commit to this action. But the truth is that we believe that if someone were to engage in lust, especially with a parai istri, like someone outside your marriage, outside of your spouse, your relationship, then obviously then the direction of the soul wouldn't be positive, right? Um, it continues. Ram Jani Grihe Janam Bidata Mohidiya. She says that I've been born as a prostitute. Tab milabe hit pek jo ko malia. I've wore this outfit of a jogi just to meet you. Turat sej hamari ab an sohaiya. Now come to my bed. Ho have dasi tab roho na mohi tarsaiya. Minuhun tarsavo na. Don't make me quench. Don't make my thirst. Don't make me tarsana, like I can't remember these English counterparts to these Punjabi words. But I will stay as your servant. Yeah. Ho have dasi tab raho. Main tuadi dasi ban ke rahingi. I'll stay as your dasi. Yeah. Ho na mohe tarsaiya. Ho menu tarsavo na. Don't put me through this pain. Yeah. Now her Bairaag, right? Her Bairaag is from Maya. She says, Birehe ban moko lage. I have been shot by the arrow of separation, she says. Birtha na dije jan. Don't let me go. Birtha. Birtha means that don't let me go without receiving your love. Birehe samund ke beach bood se lo gai. I've fallen into the ocean of separation and my head is going underneath the water. Yeah. This Guru says beautiful in terms of creativity, describing Bairag, even if it's the Bairag of Maya. Because if you're going to talk about something, you need to talk about both ends of the spectrum, right? Guru Sahib here is talking about the negative end of the spectrum. Yeah, if like in Adi Maharaj, in Guru Granth Sahib, we see the positive end of Bairag, what Bairag is. Here, Guru Sahib is describing the reverse, the negative element of Bairag. the lowest part of the spectrum, right? Spectrum. It's like if you're going to be talking about the sky, you need to talk about the floor as well, right? Otherwise, the katha of of that element of the height and whatever you're trying to talk is incomplete. In the same way that katha Bairaag is incomplete if you don't talk about the lowest parts as well. So Guru Sahib is giving the lowest parts in that same creativity. They're not judging it because a Mahapurkh, a guru, a Satguru is above these things. They can't fall anymore. They cannot fall, period, right? Into these vices. We can, right? But they cannot. So they speak about both aspects, the positive Bairaag and negative Bairaag, in the same light, in the same happiness, right? Because they're above all of it. Okay. Continuing now the response of the king. Mantra sikh hitatam tihare ayo. I've come to learn from you. Tum aage aso eh chrit banayo. Te tu aage jaake tu idhar chritr banaya ya. And I've come to learn from you, and instead you make this deception with me. मैं ना तुम्हारे संग भोग क्यों ना करो भोग हूँ करो. No, he says, I will not make love with you. हो धर्म छुटन के हेत अधिक मन मैं डरो. I am scared to lose my dharam. The Raja धर्मी होके, he says, I am scared to lose my dharam. मैं अपना धर्म नहीं छੱਡ सकਦਾ. मैं ਤੈਨੂੰ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਛੱਡ ਦਵਾਂ ਪਰ मैं अपना धर्म नहीं ਛੱਡੇਂਗਾ. ਤੇ now there's a turn of events, right? This is the narration given with the turn of events. Ram jani boh charitra banaye, hai pahe boh pant dikhaye, right? This Ram jani, one bare chitra banaye, right? She's tried so many different deceptions, yeah, so many different plays with the Raja, and she did hai pahe. Hai means out of fear, right? Trying to give fear to the king, and try to buy, meaning giving love, right? She tried to give fear, like, hey, if you don't make love with me, you're going to hell. And then she also try to please the king with love as well, like, hey, without you, I'm nothing. Come, I'll be your servant forever. In so many different ways, she tried her best. Jantar mantar tantor at kare. She tried to do magic before as well. Kaise hu rai na kar main pare. She tried so many ways, but the Raja just um, would not become hers. So Sasangaji, we're going to pause this katha here, this Charitr here, and continue on in the next episode and go through the rest of the Charitr. There's about 50 podi on this Charitr. We have covered about 30 of them, so there's 20 left, and we will cover them in the next Charitr. Aap ji da bahut bahut dhanyawad. Thank you so much if you stayed through up to now. It's a really beautiful Charitr, and I hope to see the ending with you in the next episode. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.